everybody. Welcome. I am here with Coach Street today. Today we're going to be talking about his journey through basketball, especially this season, the 2024-2025 season, and sort of how he started, how his connection towards like all the seniors on their basketball team, relations with coaches, future players, and sort of like their next chapter in life. So, how you doing, Coach?
Man, doing great. Obviously, postseason still going on for a lot of teams. We wish we were still playing, but man, doing great. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, of course. First time for everything, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So we did host the tourney, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And Coach McNutt and the sports marketing team really took care of a lot of the nuts and bolts.
Oh, yeah.
And man, they were awesome. We had tons of positive feedback from coaches, community members, central office. It was a great tournament. Our students in the sports marketing did a phenomenal job. Our new gym showed tremendous. It was a really great tournament. A lot of hard work, but a great tournament for our community to kind of showcase who we are as a community.
Oh yeah, I do. I do really like the new gym. Like the difference from the ring step to this one now is like crazy. Like how big it is, especially when the bleachers are put up, it's crazy. But yeah, definitely a new gym that can easily host like a bunch of different tournaments.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of described it. What I love about it is it fits our community. You know, sometimes new gyms, in my experience, have been kind of cookie cutter. And they're kind of just placed into a school. I feel like the design of our gym, there's a lot of thoughtfulness to it.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like if you were to update and renovate ring staff, this might be what it would look like.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I love because I love the ring staff gym. I love the feel of it. And so I was kind of skeptical of a new gym, just the feel, and it feels like home. It's just a fantastic facility.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great gym. It's a really good gym. Let's go a little back to how you sort of started as a basketball coach or just basketball in general. Did you play? Where did you start playing? How long did you play for? When did you start coaching? Like, when did you know you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, great question. You know, I probably didn't know I wanted to be a coach until I was in college, to be honest. You know, growing up in Memphis, the University of Memphis, and at the time when I really fell in love with basketball, they were the Memphis State Tigers. And so I remember my earliest, I guess, I got two probably early memories of basketball, and one of them being going to bed, listening to the radio of the Memphis State Tigers, because they would normally play, you know, around my bedtime when I was a little kid. Yeah. And so my parents would let me listen to the game on the radio as I went to bed. Yeah. And so I remember vividly many nights during basketball season listening to the game on the radio, and that's kind of how I fell in love with the game. And then I really kind of just was in awe of the first opportunity I got. My dad, I remember, checked us out of school, and of course that never happened.
Yeah.
And Memphis was hosting the NCAA tournament, like the first and second rounds.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so he brought me and my brother to a couple of NCAA tournament games, and I just remember that experience and how awesome it was. I think it was the year Kentucky actually had won the national championship. So I don't remember the year exactly, but it was, you know, late 90s. Mid to late 90s. And so those are kind of like my earliest memories of basketball. And I fell in love with the game. Played all through high school, was fortunate to play actually with Coach McNutt. We played high school basketball together. We were fortunate. We played for some really good teams. Our senior year, we were a state Final Four team.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And so I didn't think coaching – I never really kind of considered coaching when I was in high school. It wasn't something that was on my radar, to be quite honest. But when I went into college, I tried to do a couple of things with my classes, and I just wasn't passionate about it. And basketball just was my passion, and the easiest way into that was teaching and coaching. And so that's kind of what got me into it. And to be honest, it's been the most fulfilling career I could have chosen, is the fact that I get to be around young people, help influence them, influence their lives, and just have a passion for helping them grow as individuals.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. I honestly did not know that you were from Memphis. I am too. So that's really
great.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up in Collierville.
Oh, yeah.
And Germantown. So.
Yeah, so I was in the Bartlett area. So
Okay, I got
didn't
you.
always end up in
Yeah.
the Collierville area. I was in the Bartlett area.
I got you.
You know, and probably part of my basketball journey being in Bartlett,
Yeah.
which was before your time. Hubie Smith, who I actually got to work for a couple of
Really?
years, was the head coach at Bartlett High School. And
Okay.
he was there for about 19 years and would run these camps that were just these huge camps. And I would go every summer, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so basketball's kind of in the DNA of the Memphis area, as you probably know.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, there's just a lot of influences in my life that have helped me to be where I'm at today.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I mean, realistically, like when you're growing up as like a person, you need those people in your life that
Totally.
like can help guide you and influence you. For me, I know as a kid that grew up playing basketball, football, and other sports, like the main people that have helped me grow are my parents, small group leaders, and coaches.
Yep.
Like coaches, literally, I don't know if they know it, but this as a player and as like a kid on the team, like they had a really big impact on like life lessons, values, how to like overcome adversity.
Definitely.
Sportsmanship, different things that like you can apply not only on the field or on the court, but in life and in general as you go out on a day-to-day basis, which is really good, like for coaches to be able to be put in that position, which is really sick for you.
Yeah, well, and you know, I think as coaches too, we really get caught up sometimes in, particularly in a season, we get caught up in trying to win games.
Yeah.
And when we can take a step back and realize that you're really here to help influence, help encourage, help empower young people, and help them fight through the things you just talked about, right? Adversity, sportsmanship, you know, learn life lessons. You know, that's really the goal of us. And sometimes as coaches, our best work is not seen until 10, 15 years down the road. You know, I'm now at an age where I have players that I've coached who are either in coaching. I've had players invite me to their weddings, you know, and getting to see them kind of mature and grow up and kind of talk about the life lessons you just talked about. And so, you know, you talk about the team here at Page. We want to win games, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do. But sometimes what I have to do is take a step back and go, our best wins may not happen until 10 years down the road because of what you just talked about as we try to impact young people.
Yeah, exactly. Going to those impactful people, the last 4 years you've been with the seniors that just finished out their season of basketball, maybe for the final time. Last time on the court, playing for an actual team, like an actual competitive team. How has that looked to see sort of their growth, but also like just the way that they've been impacted through you, and to see just how far they've come in these past 4 years?
Yeah, you know, this is year 4 for me. So this was our first senior class. This was our first class when we came in, our very first year here at Page. And I hope I've had an impact on them. I feel like that maybe in something that we've done has helped them. I know this group of seniors in particular has had a dramatic impact on me and my family, and their families have been huge encouragement for myself. You know, our seniors are just phenomenal individuals. I couldn't be more excited for the future that they have and where they're going. Hopefully that we are, you know, impacting them and influencing them. But it's just a great group of young men, and to watch them mature and grow over a 4-year period is just really rewarding for me as an individual.
Yeah, and I, especially knowing, growing up as people that I've sort of known, like over the years, like I knew Baker and Pablo from elementary school to like now, even though we might not be crazy close, like in that same friend group, I still know them, and I've seen them sort of grow up around me, just in the same community, and it's crazy to see like just how far they've come and how changed, especially like not just athletically, but also like mentally, physically, emotionally, and just sort of impacting those people around them, making people laugh, making people, push through adversity, push farther to go do these different things. It's just crazy to see that these students, that these kids over the past 4 years have been impacted, especially through the game of basketball.
Yeah, and you talk about two guys right there, Baker and Pablo. There's a lot of stories that I could share on both of them, but their growth over a 4-year period has been tremendous. And watching them kind of come in as bright-eyed freshmen, as all freshmen are, and then to leave our program as just well-polished young men. Those two in particular. As all of our seniors, but you mentioned those two. They're going to do great things. Baker and Pablo are just two young men that I'm extremely proud of. And watching them over a 4-year period grow has been phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they're great guys, and I've gotten to know a bit more of them, like James and Josh, Matthew. Whether there be like a little bit of like a heated rivalry, like I'm a Bama fan, so it's like a lot of them are Tennessee fans, so we might talk a little smack, but it's all love. I mean, they're all great guys, so it's really nice to grow up and get to know them.
Absolutely, so, yeah. I mean, you go down the line and you start mentioning names, you'll leave guys out, but our group of seniors have put a lot of time and energy and effort into their careers here at Page. And, but not only that, they've put a lot of time into the community through service hours. They've invested into their friend groups, and so, again, I guess I may be sounding like I'm saying the same thing, but those guys have just really grown up and really are prepared for their next stage in life. And hopefully, basketball has been an influence for them to help them with that. That's what I hope. But they mean the world to me. I love them dearly because of what they have done and allowed me to do as a coach, and the influence they've had on my family as well.
Oh yeah. No, they're definitely amazing to see those people grow up. Speaking of growing up, sort of transition to the next chapter. Just the next chapter of the next 4 years, the next year, these next upcoming seniors and rising freshmen that you'll have on the team. What does that sort of look like to you, having new kids come in, but also mentoring these seniors and in between junior and sophomore?
Yeah, we're in a different phase of our program. These seniors, a lot of them played varsity as sophomores, and so for the first time in a 3-year period, we kind of have a bunch of fresh faces. So there's going to be a lot of reteaching. That's not the right word. There's going to be a lot of, hey, let's reestablish who we are as a program. Let's reestablish on what we are wanting to be and what we can be. We're really excited about our team coming back. We have a lot of production to fill. Yeah. We have a lot of leadership to fill. But I think one of the things we try to do in our program is we prepare guys to be in that next stage. We'll have some guys that come back that do not have a lot of varsity playing experience, but we also built a JV schedule to help prepare them as well. This summer, we took our JV team. We basically played them in every varsity game we could play them in, and so, it's going to be new faces. It's going to be a new team. It's going to be new challenges. Yeah. But for me as a coach, that's why I coach. Every year's new. Every year's different. Every year has a shared set of challenges that maybe didn't present itself the previous year. And so, maybe the games and the schedule looks the same, but every year has new challenges. And so I'm fired up about next year, about what our team could be, because we're going to be – we have a great set of seniors who are going to be leaders, but we also have some young players that are going to fill some important roles, and being able to help them in their journey is exciting.
Yeah, and it's really good to have, those leaders and those seniors that you can have on the team, but also have that depth where you can have those younger teams or younger players that you can fill in those extra roles that might bring a certain skill set to the team on the court. I mean, it's really like, especially like you look at college now, like in the NBA, you have the same players, you have the same stars. So you really are focused mainly on like winning games and like trying to get to that championship. When in college, especially like basketball, football, you have every year new players coming in, and you do have to build up and reassemble sort of that mentality and the standard of the what you're playing in, like for that team. And like you've done that here to where you do have like every year, like you bringing in new people, you bringing in new leaders, and you need to set the standard of like, hey, this is Page ball, this is what we're representing, and even if we win or lose our games, I need you to go out there and give it all.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, every year you try to reestablish your culture, and you know, I think when you talk about a program, you know, you have to be intentional on a daily basis in making sure your culture, your standard is established, and not letting people kind of slip through the cracks, not letting players slip through things that are maybe not that would meet our standard. And so when you kind of graduate 7 seniors, you have a chance to really sit back and reestablish who you are. And so when you just mentioned it, you know, new faces obviously sometimes just kind of bring a new perspective into a program. And so that part to me is exciting. It's going to be sad looking down the, you know, walking into our first practice this summer and seeing some faces that I'm used to seeing that aren't there. But the excitement of retooling, re-energizing our program to me is exciting as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No. Trying to think of anything else. I mean, yeah, you sort of got to share a little bit about where you came from to sort of how you're going to move forward. And honestly, as a senior, I'm really hoping for the best for you, and that the next 4 years y'all can take it home, take it far. So
listen, we just hope that we can make the Page community proud with how hard we compete. With the effort we give every night. We obviously want to win games. You know, if it were my choice, we'd win all of them, right? We want to win all of them, but we want to make everyone proud. We want to make alum proud when they come back and they're like, yeah, I remember this or I remember that, and share stories. And then when they watch the current team, they're like, man, you know what? I'm proud that I'm a Page graduate because of how hard those guys compete. So we absolutely are hoping to make our community proud with everything that we do and how we carry ourselves.
100%. Yeah. Well, thank you, Coach Street, for coming on. First sort of podcast here for Page. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but yes, really appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for talking ball. And honestly, we were able to take home a little bit of a life lesson through sort of just going through life and just learning how to manage your time, adversity, and just sort of taking what you can learn on the court, whether you played or whether you didn't, to being able to apply it to your life and just sort of growing as an individual.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad that I could be the first guest, so I think you'll probably only get better from here as far as the people you have on this podcast.
Nah, you're the top, right? So, all right. Well, thank you, Coach Street. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll see y'all guys next time.